What's up, everybody? Welcome back. New episode, pdExes.
The podcast where we're supposed to tell you shitty dating stories.
I know.
We have good intentions, I swear.
But this is what I like about it, you know.
Free flowing.
Yeah. I eat a lot of food, and that makes up part of my body. I am all food, basically.
Well, it's about sharing good things, sharing things we like. Being vulnerable about never eating in an establishment.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of like insecurities with food. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have eating disorders. I remember when I was in high school, I was swimming a lot, and I thought I was like super fat still. And I look back at pictures of myself, and I'm like, holy shit, I was
look
crazy
so good.
thin. Yeah, but I remember at the time I was like, I have to lose more weight. I'm not thin enough. And it's weird. It's part of the eating disorder, body dysmorphia.
Yeah, body dysmorphia is crazy.
Yeah.
Body dysmorphia is wild.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going on a birthday trip to Hawaii, and I remember having this picture and wearing this outfit and just feeling so fat.
Yeah. And
I'm just like, I wish I could have prepared and lost all the weight. And I look back at those photos, I'm like, bitch, you
weird.
look so good.
Yeah.
And so it's always kind of like, I mean, what was it in Schitt's Creek? You know, when she talks about looking back on yourself with kinder eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And one day you look at yourself, you won't be so spooky too.
I miss that show so much. They've been talking about a movie. It stinks because I think the fame and the cult following kind of happened after, that last season was done.
So it wasn't there to propel it forward into more.
I think that they were kind of like, okay, we're good. We've got enough of this, and then all of a sudden the whole internet and the world kind of caught up to it. And then I think at that point they were like, oh shit, we already wrapped it up, which it's great. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but like the whole season is amazing.
It's a wonderful show.
And I think, you can drag stuff out like Seinfeld. Correct. They wanted to end after 9 seasons. They were like, we're good. We don't want to overstay our welcome and stuff. And I wish they would have done more. Mm-hmm. But also then you run the risk of like people not giving a fuck or it not being great. And then you got to go like, okay, now we're done. Mm-hmm. But it always stinks. It always stinks when shows end. I'm always really sad.
Yeah.
To, kind of get back on the body dysmorphia thing, like a lot of people struggle with eating disorders, just how they look at themselves in the mirror, how you see yourself. And it's always weird because in the moment, it never really feels like you're doing well. Mm-hmm. And then when you look back, you're like, oh shit, actually, I was looking great. And I was feeling great. And
that was the best shape I ever was in life ever. And you were like, I wish I could have been kinder to myself.
And you don't actually like ever appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, as you get older, you're like, oh man, I didn't even know.
Well, so at my job, we do, clothing, and there's a fitting room, and people get really vulnerable. They're trying on bras, they're trying on pants, they're trying on tops and outfits. And I want you to feel great in everything that you're wearing. I don't want your money that bad. And I'll tell people that to their face because I think sometimes people think, like if you have businesses where, the workers are commission based, of course, I want you to buy that leather jacket so I can get 20% of that $500, right? But for me, it's so much more important to just be honest. Yeah. And mainly it's just, I never really thought, same thing with like bartending. You're almost kind of like a therapist where you're like allowing people to kind of like lean on you in that vulnerable moment. And I can say from personal experience, it's the girls who are sizes 2 and 4 and 6 that are so much harder on themselves vocally in public than like a 12, 14, 16.
Oh, I see.
Which is what's crazy. Like, I remember I had a specific instance in a fitting room where there was a sister and she kept throwing stuff over to her sister.
Right.
And I was like, hey, can I get you a room? Do you want to try anything on? And she goes, no, I'm a 6. My sister's a 4. She just looks better in everything. I look like trash.
I know nothing about sizes, women's sizes at all, like 0.
It's just difficult. So what is a 10 in one brand is not a 10 in another brand. So it's like, there was a girl who, this post went viral where she had put like 4 or 5 pairs of jeans on top of each other. And she's like, these are all size 10. Yep. These are all the large. And it's like sizing is so skewed.
Like a Old Navy, they kind of shrink those sizes. And then when you like, again, I'm not saying that they do this, but like you go like, oh man, I'm a 40 at the jeans in Old Navy. You're just naturally going to want to go back there because you feel thin. And then if you went to like a Walmart and you're like, fuck, I'm a 44 here. And so you're just like, instinctively just going to go where you're the lowest size.
Right. So it's all about what feels good. And that's always what I want to remind people. It's so much about valuing the body that you're in right now. And my struggle with weight has been a slightly different. I was a competitive weightlifter for many moons, like years. I did lots of competitions, lots of super early mornings, lots of early nights in bed because I got to wake up to go retest my maxes at the gym. And it was all really great for me because I appreciated the hard work and the diligence it took, because when it comes to like weightlifting and putting on mass, nobody's going to do the work for you.
Right.
And I think that's kind of a majority of how it is with working out in general. No one is going to do the work for you. You have to go out and move that weight in order to get those gains.
Right.
Well, back where we grew up, small town, big college, in that school district, if you were enrolled, for 8 years, you automatically got a scholarship. I think for like,
you got Oregon State.
It was around
tuition.
like $2,000 ish. It was like $1,700 or something, because back in the day, that used to be enough to pay for your tuition to go to your first year of college.
Yeah, it was wild. They've recently changed it, so you have to do. It was a logging town. The guy was a big logger, made a ton of money. His wife loved swimming, so he built a pool. He also had a swimming scholarship that I got. Me and my brother got the swimming scholarships. And it was really cool that you could go get your college paid for.
But it drove business to the town because you had parents that were like, dope. All I have to do is get my kid in this school district, and that's going to propel them into college, whether it's community college or whatever. And then they took it away.
What was happening, from what I understand, was because it's a logging town.
Yes.
All these people were going to Oregon State and then kind of protesting logging, and they were people like that were not acknowledging that it was like logging money.
Yes, that was helping them.
And so whoever the kids or whatever of this grant or whatever, they were like, we need to make sure people are going for logging. So you have to do a specific amount of like forestry and stuff classes to kind of appreciate it. And then you get it, which again, doesn't really fucking matter, but whatever. I ended up only doing like 1 year of college, and I was like, this is fucking dumb. Because I wanted to do 3D animation. I wanted to do music, and I just like couldn't do the fun stuff. And I know everyone's like, oh, you have to do all this bullshit stuff first. But like, I just wanted to go and do all those things and work towards something. And the school I was going to at the time, like it wasn't happening. And I felt like I was spinning my wheels, and I was doing animation stuff like above and beyond what the school was doing. And I just felt like I was like spinning my wheels. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't know. Go. And I've just done self-taught stuff, YouTube and
well, I mean, it's amazing now that like there's so many things that are available. There's nothing you can't learn from YouTube or TikTok at this point. I mean, the collective sharing of information is amazing.
If you want to learn how to do something, your first thing should be a Google search of whatever the fuck your question is.
How
do I do this? Whenever I'm doing podcast stuff or video editing or whatever, my first thing I do is I just type the question into Google, read the first couple answers and see if that's what, And then usually you can find people on YouTube that have really good tutorials. There's a bunch of people that I follow that just, I know they're going to have the good stuff for me to watch. And then I can go back to them. And you can support them because they're just making fucking videos for no reason, just to help people out. So there's no excuse.
How do I make my own lube? Yuck.
Greg heard like drinking Pedialyte will make a man ejaculate more. I don't know if this is true, but
suddenly my fridge is fully stocked with Pedialyte.
But
all the flavors.
I think it was like a TikTok. And it was kind of like,
Well, I think basically what that's saying is y'all men are dusty, crusty, and dehydrated. So your cum is like fucking super glue, okay?
Okay.
Was this just a...
okay, bitch.
I think we just witnessed a natural segue.
I love this story. Okay, so I was at a bear event, and basically... a bear is a fat, chubby, bearded gay man. Okay. Don't have to be, but basically because a traditional like gay back in like the 90s was a Will and Grace or a skinny guy with abs. And they I don't know, this group of guys formed the Bears, and they would do bear events. And that's kind of my first introduction, because I like guys with beards and I like chubby guys with bellies and stuff. So I was like, oh my God, 1,000 fat guys hanging out that like to hang out and just have a good time.
Right.
Sold. So San Francisco, north of there's a Russian River. And they would have a thing called Lazy Bear.
Russian River.
Russian River. That's what it's called, the Russian River. It's like an hour.
You mean
north.
rushing as in like the water's rushing. I thought you said Russian. Like Russia.
Russian River.
That's
what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a small
it's not
town.
like a Disneyland ride where it's like rushing lanes.
Russian with an apostrophe at the end.
Like we're rushing to get our groceries
Russian
before
River.
the store closed. It's like Russian, like Russia's river.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just called the Russian River.
Great.
Well, that's what I think.
I'm right.
We'll check.
It's Rushing River, I'm sure.
No, it's a Russian river. I bet you I've been there like 20 times. Okay, so anyway, north of San Francisco, about an hour north, there's a little small town, and it's right on the river, and it's super cute. Alfred Hitchcock filmed The Birds. Ooh. Kind of a little bit from there. Okay. I can't remember the name, but there's a little area where he filmed a lot out there. That's like if you go north and then you go more towards the beach, he filmed out there. But so anyway, there's a big bear event. They have like pool parties and camping. And one of the places used to be so cool. It was called Fife's. And everyone would stay there. And you'd have people staying in little other parts, but like everyone would stay in this one spot. And then like 5-6 years later, they were like, straight people bought it. And they were like, no more gay stuff. And
we ruined everything. I'm so sorry.
And then they didn't want to do any more hosting of this bear event because it's huge. So they said no more. And then everyone had to go stay at different places, which is still great. It was still nice, but it was less centrally located. So then you would have everyone kind of staying elsewhere at different resorts and then coming together for these pool parties. Anyway, I was a little slut. It was like my first big bear event. And obviously I'm super cute. And so I had
a lot of this runs in our DNA.
Yes. And so I'd hooked up with several people because, it's just easy and fun and you just go to someone's tent or whatever. So the last day I'm talking to some dude and there was some website. He was like, oh, I work for some bear website or whatever. And I take photos for them. And it seemed kind of weird because it was just like a dating site. So nobody really took pictures for them. But at the same time, I was like, whatever. And he was like kind of cute. Right. And also I kind of was like, let me just see if I could just hook up with this dude again, just because it's whatever. So we talk for a little bit and then we go off into some trail and we're doing stuff. We didn't do any like butt stuff, but I think we're doing like blowjob stuff. And we're like on a stump, in the forest-ish area. And then he comes and it looked like chewed up white gummy bears.
What?
Yeah.
It'd be like chewed up coconut?
Like chewed up white, kind of. And it just was like you were squeezing out of a straw.
It was like toothpaste?
But like chewed up white gummy bears.
That
like
was
it was clumpy. Yeah, like it was like a tapioca. And he was like, oh, sorry. And like luckily.
What did he say? Hold on. What did he fucking say sorry for, bitch?
He just goes,
oh, sorry. I haven't had water in the last fucking 10 days.
Sorry, I've been drinking a lot of beer. I think I'm dehydrated. I'm like, bitch, it is more than that, okay? Have you not had a sip of water in
my God.
20 years? Luckily, none of this made it to my mouth region. But like, I just remember being like,
For those of you listening that aren't on the video, yet again, my mouth is fucking dropped, bitch.
I forgot about this story. It's actually
fucking foul.
It was really gross. And then so all my friends were like, hey Ryan, how was it? And I was like, oh my God. And then I explained what happened and everyone was like, Jesus Christ. It was kind of gross.
Did you ever eat a white gummy bear ever again after that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Couldn't be stopped.
No. But it just, that in that moment I was just like, fuck.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about cum, I got a couple of great little, I want to say as a girl, right? I don't really know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. I got no idea. Right. For me, it's all inside. For me, it's like fireworks, right? And then I come and it feels great. And you're like, wow, it's like great. Guys have like a fucking fire hose.
Yeah.
So like And for whatever reason, I think it's because of porn. I don't think, honestly, girls, again, light me up as you have in the past. I don't think there's any girl out there that likes to get cummed in her face. Like, don't jizz in my face. So, like, I used to have my eyelashes done, like, semi-permanent. Remember we talked about that? My one rule was do not come on my face, because if you get in my fucking eyelashes, it's going to be a bad time.
Right. These are already glued on.
Yeah.
I need more glue.
No, you bond them all. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's fucking so miserable to even think about.
I have to be in the mood for that. But I think it's like, if you're there, you know, like, it's got to go somewhere.
I mean,
here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. Once a man ejaculates, and the transaction is done. For some people, most men, that's it. They are like, they put the punch card in and they're like, clocked out for the day, bye. Like, it is turned off. Mm-hmm. For a man and a man, well, I guess man and a woman, but like when a guy is fucking a girl, he just go, ooh, and then that's it. And then he's like, that's it. Like the dick is like, poop. And then that's it for you. Unless you want to be like, oh, let me like eat you out or whatever.
I can't even imagine that.
That's, the guy is kind of done.
I can.
So there's times when, like, you know, if I get off, I don't like to get off too early, because then it kind of makes stuff not as great. I'm still in it, but like, I like to kind of hold off. You know what I mean?
This is all so foreign to me.
Yeah.
Because normally with women, it's a transaction. It's either just the dude, or it's me, then the dude.
Right. Or at the same time.
Yes. Or as I'm experiencing now, what's to me is I got that very high sex drive. But for me, once the transaction's completed between both of us, with the guy I'm dating now, he wants to keep going. And he's like, you're so hot, let's keep going. And I'm like, he's like, we can do it, but I can't finish. And I'm like, but to me, that's the finish line. So where are we racing if you're not satisfied? And I was like, I'm satisfied. Hi, hello, me. I don't need to do it a second time. So it's just...
You know, there was one of my friends, and I haven't hung out with him in a while, but he could continually have orgasms over and over and over. And it blew my mind. Like, I could suck his dick, and then you could just like, he could come, and then you could just keep going. There was no downtime. This man should have been studied by goddamn scientists, because like, and then he would just continue to have them. Like, you'd go a couple minutes and he'd just have another one and stuff would come out, and you just keep going. There was no like, cause like for a man, as soon as you come, the penis is like, please stop all things.
Not always.
You know, for most men, the penis is like, don't touch. Right. And then with this one dude, he was just like, you could just keep going. And I was like, this is crazy. Like,
but at the end of the day, don't you feel like isn't it like unsatisfying being that partner? Because you can never satisfy them.
No, because I think it's just all bonus. Like, you get that first one, and then anything after that is like bonus. The thing I don't understand is people that do the edging. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Okay, obviously.
Yes.
But like, there's some people they'll get right to that point, and they'll be like, okay. And then they'll do it again. Okay. Like, I hooked up with somebody one time, and I thought he was having orgasms, because he'd get all like, oh yeah, and I was like,
stop.
And like, nothing is kind of irritating when like people don't verbalize what the fuck is happening.
Thank you.
Because if I have a penis in my butt, oh yeah.
I just had to give you a moment for that. And like, you can tell with breathing, and you know, like with people, you can kind of know when it's coming. But like, I remember I hooked up with a dude, and like, I thought he was having orgasms, and then I'm just like, you know, there's a dick in my butt, and so I can't tell if it's like squishy or not, or whatever. And then I think I was trying to like cum or something, and he's like, oh yeah, I haven't cummed yet, and I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing this whole time? You're poking around back there.
I'm so confused.
Yes.
And then sometimes people, you know, have an orgasm, and then like, there's like literally just nothing, like no words, no nothing. They just kind of stop. And I'm like, They're like, oh yeah, I came like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I could use a little.
Yes, communication in sex is very necessary. It doesn't have to be, ooh, do you like that? But a little check-in.
Well, the asshole, you get some idea of what's happening, but like also, you don't. Like, I couldn't probably tell you the difference between 2 and 3 fingers. You know what I mean?
Can't relate.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's nice to know, But like, it's hard because, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really
Well,
tell.
I
You
think-
can't go
but
like,
what I
oh,
think
wow,
is so
my
fucked
asshole is
up-
gaped an extra centimeter. You know, you just,
Yes.
it just feels a certain way. So.
But the same thing with like getting jizzed on your face. I think that porn has created this slightly
it's a visual thing.
unrealistic, you know, and then you have teenage boys who've grown up watching guys bust on girls' faces. And so then they think that that's the natural progression when that's not how this fucking works. All right, let me tell you right now.
Yeah,
I can't tell you. I've slept with dudes who've been so excited that I've had, like, I want to say the furthest cum shot has been fucking my headboard.
yeah.
Like, your parts are down here and you have made it a good 3.5 feet to
Yeah.
my fucking headboard to where we're like,
Yeah.
head, shoulders, knees, and toes, bitch. Where the fuck is it? Oh shit, it's on my fucking headboard.
Yeah.
Just Windex that off, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. Porn definitely can ruin you because your visual input
It's a visual stimulation.
is you can like go online. Like I have been like 30 pages deep on like a Pornhub or porn site or something, and you're just trying to find that perfect whatever, which doesn't even make any sense.
But it doesn't even exist.
You're like, I gotta have this one part, and then I'm like hitting the mouse to like, you know, make it go right back to the part. You know what I mean? It's just you can get exactly what you need.
Correct.
Same with like jacking off. I think a lot of guys jack off so much, or you go so long before you really have consistent partners that when you get penis in the vagina or penis in the butthole, it's
Or a
different.
mouth.
Or mouth. So your penis is like, okay, I'm ready. Oh, wait, this is different. So I'm waiting for those moves, the hand moves, and whatever the dude's doing.
Right. You're basically, if you're consistently watching specific porn, or like if you like anime porn, or if you got a small niche, right?
Yeah,
This is your
yeah.
niche. I'm basically over here trying to fucking undo this combo lock while the alarms are blaring, and I don't know what the combo is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not in a little maid outfit with the whatever. You just gotta
Right,
tell a
right.
bitch.
And you gotta have your little feather duster.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's you know,
Girls
the thing.
will. That's the thing. Communication, because girls will play into that fantasy.
Right.
If my boo came up to me and told me some XYZ, I'd be like,
He will now.
say less. Say less.
Yeah, and I've also I've hooked up with a lot of people, and it's weird sometimes what people need, where they start kind of getting down a rabbit hole of the things like, you know, and it can be a slippery slope where you're like, fuck, now I got to do that each time, and your body is just like, you're just training it, and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over. So like,
Well, one thing about good communication is, like, for me, like, I like sucking dick. I just like it. I always
that's
have.
nice.
Yeah, I always have. Since high school. Always have.
Yeah.
And for me, I have noticed when I communicate with my partner, I like giving standalone blowjobs. So like, we don't have to do anything, but like,
Right.
you know, yeah, bad day, whatever. Like, I
Me
enjoy
too.
that. However, don't make me work fucking 45 minutes.
Oh my God. I remember this one time I was like giving this guy a blowjob, and I was like 20 minutes in or something.
Yeah.
I put in so much work on
You
this
put in
cock.
so much sloppy top.
And then he was like, God bless him. He's really, really nice. I mean, we hooked up a bunch of times. He's like, oh, you have to go slow. And I'm like, dang, you could have told me that like 10
You
minutes
could
ago.
have told me
like,
that 19 minutes
I'm
ago.
over here putting in work, bitch. My like I've been smiling at a comedy festival. My mouth hurt. Like, just let me know what you need, and I can deliver that.
Correct.
But
communication is key.
Some
Slower,
people like
faster.
it. Some people like it really slow.
Yep.
Like I had somebody who was just like, he just kept telling me like, no, slower, go slower. And I'm like, I would be going backwards if I'm going any slower, bitch.
Molasses.
I gotta get up and leave. That's how slow I'm going. Like,
Oh my God.
oh yeah, I
Anytime-
taste it. Oh, slow. I'm like, I don't know what you think I'm doing. I have a cock in my mouth right now.
One of my favorite blowjob moments was from a cartoon. It was South Park, where they're doing the Jonas Brother episodes. And the Jonas Brothers walk in the back, and you got 8 girls all on the line. They walk in the back, and all the girls just go.
Oh yeah.
And I just like, anytime it's blowjob,
my
anything
God.
like that, like the.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
so
That's
funny. So great. You made the comment earlier about how guys can just, you know, do the transaction has been completed and then they're asleep.
Yeah.
sometimes it's complimentary for me. I guess for me, again, women tell me if I'm wrong. I can speak for myself. Sometimes when it's so fast, like 2 pumps, like less than 90 seconds. I mean, but for me at that point, I think it might just because I'm a Virgo and I have to compartmentalize everything so much that I'm like, great, what a compliment.
Right. Yeah.
There was a guy that I worked with and like we just had this underlying crush on each other for a super long time. Like we started working when he was a busser and he was 18 and I was much older and I was in a relationship and we had worked together for like 4 years and I was in a relationship and there's like little, we'd catch each other's eye, but like had a boyfriend. So there was nothing weird. And then he ended up dating a manager and it was all fucking weird. Jeez. Yeah, it was all weird. If the walls of that tiny little restaurant could talk.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I always see memes of like, especially restaurants. Like I don't think I would ever want to hook up with anybody, but like I guess restaurants, it can be kind of weird because everyone's spending so much time together, and everyone hooks up with each other, and the waitresses or the busboys and the cooks and everything. So
there's the meme that's like talking about how servers are hungover or, just had a bender the night before and they're serving your kid their, fourth birthday party and everyone else is all out clapping and they just were all blacked out 3 hours ago, just woke up for work. That's just kind of the culture. Basically, once I wasn't with my boyfriend anymore and was still working at the same job, I just there was just a shot in the dark where we were all out having drinks with some mutual friends. And I think there were like 6 or 8 of us all out together. Right. And I made some comment about coming home with him. And he was like, wait, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, okay, cute. And I just super handsome, a couple years younger than me, but it was just really funny because after the fact, like when I got to his house, he lets me upstairs to the apartment and I'm walking around and I'm laughing and he's like, yeah, I've never driven home faster in my entire life. I had to beat you because my room was dirty and I had to I threw all my clothes in my closet. And I'm just great. Oh man, okay. And I'm just laughing. And I mean, we had been into each other for so long and talk about talking a big fucking game. Talk about getting dicked down. Bitch, I dicked you down. It was 90. I would say a minute and 20. I would say 120 seconds max. And I want to say there was maybe a little dick sucking, and then, it was the transaction when it was insertion was maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, the premature ejaculation is definitely a big male struggle because the penis just
does what it wants.
I don't know. It's like there's a surprise party and then somebody jumps out and ruins it too early. And like, a surprise. They're like, nah, bitch, shut the fuck up. Or like they're coming in at the same time the other person comes in and they meet outside. And they're like, surprise. What are you doing here? And they're like, oh, we're just going. That's what premature ejaculation is. Everyone is waiting inside being like, crouched down in the dark.
What a great analogy. Fuck. What a great visual.
No, I told everyone be here 7:30. Park down the street.
Right.
And so it's just unfortunate because I would love that. And I am not a long taker by any means, but sometimes
it was so fast. It was so fast. And I just remember him being immediately asleep.
Oh, really?
Bitch, immediately.
You better finger this puss.
I tucked that motherfucker in. I slid out of bed. I want to say I kissed his forehead.
Oh my God.
Slid out of bed. Tucked him in, grabbed my shit and left. And I was like, bye. And then I got some fucking Jack in the Box on the way home because I had to feel satisfied. I had to feel satisfied for something.
Oh my God.
I needed some slutty tacos to make me feel better.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hot when you're just like,
no,
the person finishes and then they're like, going to bed, bitch. And then you're just like, yeah.
No, he was out.
But it's also rude when you're like, yeah, let's fuck and whatever. And then they're just like, and they're like, go right into
there was nothing. There was no lock the door on your way out. It was like, ah!
That's weird.
I mean, weird, yes.
Also,
complimentary.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't mind,
right.
It's all back there, right. And whether it takes 10 minutes or not. So sometimes it's like I want it to last a long time, and other times it's like, You know, people are like, oh, sorry, it was quick. And I'm like, oh, 5 minutes. It's not that bad. You know,
Well, you don't always have to have
like it doesn't have to
2
be an
hour
hour.
sex. Which I've recently, I will say, had 2 hour sex.
Dang.
Amazing. What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And and someone was like, oh, well, how did you know it was 2 hours? Bitch, I got a fucking playlist.
Yeah, for real.
Playlist ended. We went from spacebar starting to like the playlist fucking ended and then was playing random songs.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, bitch.
You're
It was
like,
fucking
dang.
crazy and it was great.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Anytime I hear anyone say that's the goal, it always makes me think of what did fucking...
Every hole is a goal.
Yes! Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Was it Aquarius?
Every hole is... Yes, when she's Melania.
Yeah.
Every hole is the goal.
Every hole is a goal.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Anytime I hear any word with the goal, I always think of her with the fucking taped face back in Snatch Game. Every hole is the goal.
Yeah. Well, today you learned a lot about how sex is weird.
No, today you learned hydration is important.
Hydration, please. If you're out camping, drink water. Not
Yes.
just for your cum.
No, just for the
But-
cum. Like, come on, let's
Get a
be real.
Pedialyte. You know what's great? When we were at Burning Man, my friends got Pedialyte popsicles. What are the ones called? The little long thin ones.
But like the ice pops?
Kind of, but they come in a strip. But they're...
Yeah.
But what are they called? There's a brand for those. Ice Pops, Ice Lollies.
Otter pops.
Otter Pops.
Bitch.
And I don't know where in the hell they got them from, but they are
Probably
the
Amazon.
best. No, some store. They live in California. But like they were so good. I mean, Pedialyte, I don't think it tastes that bad. It does taste a little medicine-y.
Yeah, whatever.
But when you were out in Burning Man, you're all like fucking hot and tired. You're little icy Pedialyte shit.
so
It
great.
was so good.
So
and
great.
I wanted to get some for Coachella, but I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
But yeah, hydration is important.
Yep.
Communication is important. Let somebody know what you like. Unless it's super weird, then you got to give it some time.
Yes.
But also, like, you should let the person you're with know, like, oh, I like this thing, even if it's butt stuff.
Or
even
not
if
even,
it's-
oh, I really liked it when you did that.
Right.
Or, oh, can we try this?
Well, like, remember Kanye West? They had a whole thing with that one chick. And she blew him up and was like, oh, yeah, you like my fingers in your ass. And everyone was like, oh. Here's the thing, men, you have a prostate in your butthole. And that's where all the sexy juices start. That's the
gravy?
G spot, the gravy. Yeah. The powdered gravy gets mixed with the stuff in there. And that's when it comes out. But like, if you hit that G spot on a man, that prostate, that feels really good. That's why gay sex, in the butthole feels really good. And, you basically, if they're on their back and you go in and up, it's like right in there. It's like where the balls and everything attach. It's all right there. So like, but man, God forbid a rapper wants a finger in his ass. Oh God, what a fag. You know what I mean? So like,
it's the worst.
it just... It's a little funny, I think, in the moment because Kanye's like, he's like a big talker. Like,
Right.
so like, and then you find this out. And again, it could just be made up. But then also at the same time, like, who cares?
But
I
yeah,
think a
things
lot
in
of
the bedroom are
guys,
sacred.
yeah.
Sacred, intimate, vulnerable moments.
a lot of
and-
guys want that or might want a finger in their ass or might want their butthole licked or want a dildo in their butt. And like, there's nothing wrong with that because there's a thing in there. And if you push it, then stuff will come out of your penis immediately. You just go poop, and then it goes, and it feels really good. Yeah, it's crazy. It's not for everybody, but yeah, like
you said up and back.
you go up, like you're like, come here.
Great. Ding dong. I have
yeah.
nails, so we know I don't. Sorry, boo. You
But
know I don't.
you
do
know,
the-
like it's every guy should feel comfortable
well, it's
with
just
that.
about.
There's nothing
creating-
wrong with a finger in your asshole. It is tissue. Yes, that's where the poop comes out, but like there's nothing bad about stuff in your ass. Like I don't know why people got this like, oh, you're not a man or oh, you're going to hell cuz what? Like Jesus was like, "Oh yeah, can you make a thing like so nothing should go up? That's only an out area. Like get out of here." Why does it feel good then? Huh? Scientists?
Anatomy.
Because basically when you have an orgasm, your prostate like squeezes and that's what makes all the stuff. Like that's why guys have prostate, girls don't. You know, it's weird, but it makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, you're learning a lot today about the inside of a man's asshole and drinking water. Please drink water. Mm-hmm. I need to drink more water. Mm-hmm. But we also learned about guys falling asleep. Communication is important, especially if you want to fall asleep after you just fuck somebody. Like, how do you know you're not just going through supermarket sleeping all this the shits? You know, you're like, oh, I'll take that high school medal and that wooden spatula.
Oh, like someone raid your house.
Yeah,
like after a high school party. Well, I think it's so important. You can tell someone that if you are a dude and you notoriously like if you ejaculate and then you're immediately knocked out, you can tell a bitch that.
Right.
Hey, it feels so good. I literally have no control over my body.
Yeah.
I'm knocked the fuck out. I had my first experience with that recently. I got ate out so fucking good for 45 minutes, came, immediately was asleep, couldn't feel my legs, couldn't form sentences. He was like, I'm going to go shower. Come meet me in the shower. I'm laying down, sleepy sleep. Then all of a sudden, I hear the shower's off and I go, oh no, bitch, you done fucking missed the shower. And I was like, me, sleepy, now, sleep more.
Your body's like, we gotta patch all this stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sex is weird. Sex is super weird.
But wonderful.
Exploring
is good. Yep. Communication is good. Yep. Have a conversation. You know what? Hey, use us as your way to break the ice. So maybe you listen to the podcast and you're like, oh, honey, be like, oh, I didn't know that you went up and back to get your happy button.
Yeah.
Let us break the ice for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a conversation with your partner.
Oh, man. Could you imagine in years from now if people come up to us and they were like, oh, my God.
You're the reason I had an orgasm.
Yeah. You're the reason I had my first butt orgasm.
Yeah.
Buttgasm.
You know, just get in there and do the work. Hit that call button.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, do you have to clap?
Oh, yes. Ooh.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was